Good Sunday morning and welcome back to WSHIT. I am Father Muldoon. Each Sunday I like to bring you a little bit of what we're teaching the children in our Bible study here at St. Crabapple Parish. I think it's so important that we have transparency, especially with our young and tender children. Now I've invited Sister Mary Holy Roller to talk to our children about God's love, a pure love between friends. Let's listen in now as the sister is with the children.
Because when they hold each other really close and give a long kiss and a warm hug, they tell each other that they're beautiful and everything like that. And they also have a bit of a laugh because they are the best of friends. And then something happens. In a very short time, because they're so close, the man feels his penis becoming erect, that's straight, hard, and the sperm coming down into it, like it did when he had a wet dream. Now,
Sister, I'm not entirely sure this is appropriate for our 7 to 10-year-olds.
Ready to receive the
Oh,
sperm.
Lord,
Amazing, you know, how God made
is
it.
anybody on the
Because
microphone?
while
Can
they're
you hear
making
me,
love and
Sister
being
Holy
happy
Roller?
together, the woman
Is there
feels
anybody
her
back at
vagina
the studio?
becoming kind of slippery inside. so
Oh,
that the
my
penis
Lord.
can easily
Dear
slip
God.
in and out.
Let's hit the mute box
So
or the
he
button
slips
or
his
whatever it
penis
is
into
you
her
do.
vagina,
Hello?
gives her the
Hello?
sperm, then she has the sperm.
In the name of
Then the
Father
penis slips
O'Douls,
out,
cut her
and that's
off.
all.
WSHIT regrets the following content aired on its Sunday morning programming. Please enjoy this commercial break.
Then the penis slips out, and that's all.
On this episode of The Commercial Break,
a huge drive-in
The drive-in, yeah.
restaurant called the Varsity,
Near Georgia Tech.
right down there next door to Georgia Tech. It's huge. And what it's famous for is the way in which they do the orders. So
Claw dog, chili dog.
yeah, there's crazy men back there like,
Like fast.
What you
Yeah, what you have, what you have.
Two fries, all kind of dogs, cleaning shit up off the wall later. And so the manager said, "Hey Bryan, why don't you take a break?" I was on the grills, the chicken and fish grill.
Okay.
And then the manager said, "Larry, you should take a break too."
Just
It was
go with
smoke break.
Bryan.
Yeah, and we all smoked, and so we went downstairs.
Yeah.
And I lit up my Camel Wide, and I was like, "What's up, Larry? You know, I'm killing it on a grill today." And he's like, "Well, about that." You are killing it. You're literally killing the food. You may be killing people in addition to that. He's pretending like this is a this is a real marriage. I mean, it's a real marriage. It just happens to be to your cousin, which is really strange.
The father of her children from her previous marriage lived there, and so to just uproot and like the Beverly Hillbillies or something is not as easy as it
So
sounds.
she had kids before and then got divorced and then was like, I mean, there's really just no good men out there.
Yeah,
Danny. Okay, cuz. What? Remember me?
I got divorced Thanksgiving, and on Christmas I was like, "Well, Danny's got a dick. Danny's got
I
a
know
dick.
him
Might as well
already.
jump on that one."
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Familiar.
the next episode of The Commercial Break starts now.
So that's up the commercial break. Hey, how the hell are you? I'm Bryan. This is Krissy, and
Happy holidays.
Best to you, Krissy.
Best to you, Bryan.
Best to you out there in the podcast audience. How the hell are you? Welcome to yet another edition of The Commercial Break.
That's right.
So glad that you're here. It's that time of year when we all get together and we sit around the big fat fucking turkey. We put on 10 pounds and we pretend not to hate our siblings.
Our family.
And I just love this. I love this holiday, man. I love Thanksgiving.
too.
There's just something about Thanksgiving. I think we were talking about this the last episode. There's just something about Thanksgiving it's non-denominational. It's non-threatening. I don't know what other holiday is threatening, but it's Halloween. It's
Not
scary.
everybody celebrates every other holiday.
Yeah, not everybody celebrates
Yeah.
other holiday. And then do you say Merry Christmas or do you say Happy Holidays? Or we say
Yeah.
Happy Holidays, but that's just because I don't think we purposely did that. I think we just said
Just kind of went into the lexicon.
Yeah, that's right. And so we're all gonna get around, and we're gonna do the old turkey thing today. I had the rare opportunity of, let's say the rare opportunity, I guess going to have lots more moving forward, but my son had like a little turkey day thing at the school.
Yeah.
And
gobble.
Yeah, gobble gobble. He came out in the little turkey headdress, like it looked like a turkey with the little tail and the little feathers on top.
That's cute.
And all of them did, and they were just, my son, who, if you get him here in the house, the only thing that he wants to do is listen to music over and over again, certain songs over and over again, and he wants to dance, right?
Yeah.
That's what he wants to do. Daddy dance, daddy musica solo, which in Spanish means, only music, which is what happens when we give him the iPad. We're like, musica solo, right? Only music.
Only music.
And he just dances, and then his sister starts dancing, which is really just more like a bounce.
Right.
She just puts her butt out and just bounces like this, right? Exactly. She thinks she's or she spins around in circles. She thinks that's dancing too. So he is like the most gregarious, outgoing little dancer you've ever seen in your entire life here at the house. But then he gets a little crowd shy, I've noticed, in these little events.
Little stage fright.
Yeah, a little stage fright. He gets up there and he's just like staring and be like, with like a wide-eyed glaze. Like,
what do I do again?
What do I do again?
There's all these people here.
I've been to these things with, godsons and daughters before, and, I was always making fun of the parents who are like clapping along, like,
Right.
do this, Johnny, do this, you little shithead. Told you this at home. Clap. And then here I am. I'm like, Matthias.
Yeah, do
clap.
it.
Yeah, like this, and then move your hands round and round. Why aren't you doing it?
Don't make me look bad.
This video's not going to go over well on WhatsApp. Stop with the shy shit and get going. Please. So I am videotaping my son, knowing that I'm going to tell this story on air. Mm-hmm. And it reminded me of a video that I watched maybe 3 days ago. And I can't remember who the comedian was. I want to say it's that guy who does the Comedy Central thing with the videos.
Oh, where he goes out and announces Trump voters about?
No, not Jordan Klepper.
Okay.
The guy where he takes like online videos and he just makes fun of them. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, that was Talk Soup, wasn't it?
No.
Not Joel McHale?
No, not Joel McHale. God damn, I wish somebody could call me up right now if you even knew we were recording right now. Give me the answer. The guy, Tosh. Tosh Point Oh. Tosh Point Oh. There it is, okay? The guy looked exactly like Tosh, like Daniel Tosh. But I don't think it actually was, because I don't think Tosh has children.
Right.
But here's the video, and it's a TikTok video. The video is this comedian's son breaking down a joke that his dad is telling about him years ago. About how his dad, listen to this, his dad had got an iPad, a brand new iPad, and he wanted to attach it to the cloud, the family cloud.
Yes.
But he couldn't figure out how to do that. And so the teenage son says, God, Dad, you're such a fucking idiot. Like, you can't even attach shit to the cloud. I'll do it for you. Takes the iPad, goes, attaches it to the cloud, and what comes back is all the family pictures that are uploading into the cloud. So he starts flipping through them, and then he sees a couple of dick pics, and he's like, well, that's not my dick, but I bought that piece of furniture. It's his son's
Oh, my God.
dick. So being the comedian that he is, he just
laughed about it.
He just kind of lets this linger for a few minutes, right? And he's like, well, son, I'm so glad you had an opportunity to get this on the cloud. I didn't really understand what the cloud was, but, now I understand. The cloud is essentially when you put all your shit in a thing that gets shared. He's like, yeah, Dad, mom takes a photo, goes into the cloud. You take a photo, goes into the cloud. And then his dad goes, and then you take a photo and it goes into the cloud. And the son realizes right away what's happened. And he's like, so how's your day, Dad?
Yeah.
Like, he's totally
forget about the cloud.
Right. It's really funny the way that the comedian tells it. But the son's reaction, he is so fucking pissed.
Oh, yeah.
He's mad at his dad. And he's like, fucking hate when my dad tells jokes like this on stage, and he always puts his hands like this when he's talking about, like, he's making fun. I don't even know where that voice came from, blah, blah, blah. He is so angry with his father. You can tell he's trying to be a comedian, but what's really trying to be funny about it, what's really going on is seething fucking anger.
Right.
And all I'm thinking about, this is literally how my brain works. I am watching my son do a Turkey Day dance, asking him to clap like he did at the house so it would be nice. So I can get it on videotape and send it to the WhatsApp group so later on in the afternoon, I can record about it. And then in the future, my son's going to have fucking therapy because I was running around talking about how my son twirls in circles with turkey feathers on his head. It's unbelievable.
Yes, you're going many steps ahead.
So my brain works. I'm many steps ahead of the game. I can't figure out what's going on right now, but in the future, I am clearly aware of what's going on. It was the cutest thing that I've ever seen, by the way. And then the teachers took some old grocery bags, like some cardboard paper, and they made a rather realistic, I guess, out of cardboard paper, looking turkey. With the whole the legs and the white caps on the legs and the whole 9 yards, right? Like picture perfect turkey. It was probably like 3 feet by 3 feet. It was a big turkey. And so the principal comes out and she tells us they've been working very hard on this. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to come out, they're going to sing, they're going to dance for 3 songs. And then afterwards, we're going to cut the turkey and everybody's going to get a slice. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Is there a real turkey in there? Is there actual meat in there? Because I don't know why they wrapped it. They could have just left the turkey out, right? Maybe they didn't want the flies to get in it. Maybe this is some kind of present. Maybe the school board requires that they keep it sanitary.
Right.
I'm not really sure what's going on, but I'm more confused.
The health department.
I'm more confused than anybody in the audience, right? I'm like, are we going to actually get turkey? Because it's kind of early in the morning. And I'm not hungry for turkey. But if they have a cheddar biscuit
You'll
in
have
there.
a biscuit. Yeah, you'll have a piece.
So at the end, they actually have like a little knife. And they start slicing the actual cardboard turkey. And I'm like, oh, I get it. They're going to cut little pieces of paper and then give it to the kids on a plate to kind of practice for Thanksgiving. How cute. My dumbass doesn't realize what my wife realized the second that she saw it is when they cut into it, there's actual like gifts inside of the turkey and each kid gets a gift.
That's sweet.
And I was like, you knew that? She's like, did you not get that? And I'm like, I thought there was turkey in there. I thought we were all going to get...
There's meat in there.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get a turkey cheddar biscuit from Hardee's or something. Welcome to Hardee's. Would you like a back massage? Remember
Your
that
newspapers.
Your newspapers in the shitter with an ashtray and a shot of whiskey.
Welcome, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah. The bathroom is the one place our guests need to feel comfortable. We're talking about an episode where we reviewed some old training material, some training videos from Hardee's.
Yeah.
And this had to have been back in the 60s or 70s or something. But one of they were telling
I think it was the 80s because we were talking about the wrap.
Oh, yeah.
They did a wrap.
Well, that was the Burger King one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But the Hardee's one. But in the Hardee's video, they were talking about being overly... like
getting to know your customer.
Yeah, right. And one of the things they said was the bathroom is where your customer needs to feel most comfortable. Like, yeah, because you eat a fucking Hardee's burger at 6 a.m, you're going straight to the
gotta
shitter.
go. Yeah,
and you know there are people out there whose whole morning routine consists of this, right? I hate my wife and I hate my children. They want my fucking ball and chain. Or alternately, I hate my husband and I hate.
I gotta get out of the house.
Yeah, I am going to drop the kids off. And then I am
Daddy's going to work.
Yeah, Daddy's going to work. But where he's really going to is the Hardee's to read his cell phone on the shitter while eating a cheddar biscuit and drinking a cup of shitty coffee. You know that happens. You know that happens.
Oh, yeah.
I know this happens because I used to work at a McDonald's. I've said this many times before. And there were people.
The repeats.
Yes, they would religiously come in every fucking morning for a coffee and a biscuit or whatever it was, right? And they were typically older and sometimes they weren't skinny. Looks like because they've been eating
biscuits
bacon,
every morning.
egg, and you know those bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits are like 3,000 calories a piece. And then inevitably, back then they would smoke cigarettes at the table and then go to
the little
bathroom.
tin ashtrays.
And then I'd have to be the one who went in and cleaned up. Oh my God. You haven't seen any. War is hell, Hoadley. And war is a McDonald's bathroom after the morning shift.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Fast food bathrooms.
People, how do people get poop up on the wall?
I don't know.
How do you manage to get shit on the wall? How do you explode like that? I'm just wondering.
You eat a bacon biscuit.
A bacon, egg, and cheese, a coffee with a cigarette at 6 in the morning.
What happens.
Can I get some mayonnaise with my biscuit? Sure. Guess I'll clean that up off the wall later, too. It is so disgusting.
That's bad.
It was so disgusting. The things I could see, I could tell you, Hoadley. The stories I could tell you. Reminds me of a couple of days ago.
Did you go to a McDonald's in the morning?
I'll tell you, worse. So the family and I decide we're going to. There's a big Ferris wheel here in Atlanta, much like the London Eye, and they call it the Atlanta Wheel or something like that. I don't even know what they call it, but it's basically a carnival ride that's heated and cool. It's not a carnival ride.
You
It's
have
like
these
the
cars,
the
these
cars.
enclosed cars that you can get into.
The London Ferris wheel is probably 300 feet tall. I mean, it's like 30
Yeah.
stories, and you can fit like 40 people in just one of those things, and it takes like an hour to go all the way around or something. Here in Atlanta, you can fit like 5 people in one of them. They have seats, they're heated and cooled, and it takes about 15 minutes to complete from beginning to end, right? And it's high, 10 stories, 12 stories.
Yeah, it's
like
fun. I've done it a couple times.
Kids had never done this.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, let's go do that. It's a chilly day in Atlanta. Let's go down there. We'll get in one of those heated little things. We'll spin them up a couple times. It'll be exciting for them. They had the greatest time. And then we were thinking to ourselves, well, this is an Atlanta day. Let's go do something else at Atlanta. Let's eat somewhere that like an Atlanta staple. And what we come up with, unbelievably, is the Varsity.
Oh yeah, that's it. That is an institution.
If you've never been to Atlanta, way back in the 50s, when McDonald's was kind of coming into prominence, 50s and 60s, a gentleman here in Atlanta decided he would open a huge drive-in
The drive-in, yeah,
restaurant called the Varsity.
near Georgia Tech,
Right down there next door to Georgia Tech. It's huge. And what it's famous for is the way in which they do the orders. So
Claw dog, chili dog.
yeah, there's crazy men back there like
fast.
what you have?
What you have?
2 fries, all kind of dogs, and cleaning shit up off the wall later.
Yes.
They like scream at you. It's like a horse race, right?
Yeah.
And people are everywhere, and it's just like, and the kitchen is 100 feet long, and people are just throwing burgers up and fries everywhere.
Yeah.
And chili on the floor. It's just an insane thing to go watch on a busy day, like a Georgia Tech football game
yeah.
or a sports event. What you have? Cheese dog, people yelling all over the place. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, they keep there's some kind of system.
Yeah, I basically think at this point there really is no rhyme or reason to what they're actually saying.
Right.
I think they just keep the hamburgers and hot dogs coming because you can only get 2 things. A chili dog,
The chili dogs.
or a chili burger.
Yeah.
Right? And both of them are going to give you bad gas at some point.
Yes.
Because there is no quality to the meat whatsoever. You just have to go there for the experience.
It is,
It's like a
yeah.
Walt Disney World burger. Costs way too much and it tastes like nothing. So we decide we're going to go to the Varsity. But we go up to a Varsity. Now they have like 3 locations or 4 locations. We go up to one north of Atlanta because there is a Georgia Tech game going on. And I'm like, I'm not going to even deal with that
Too
traffic.
much, yeah.
We go up there. No one. You could throw a bowling ball in that place.
Oh,
you
okay.
could throw a fucking bowling ball in this Varsity at that time.
And this is one that you can walk in.
You just walk right in, right? Yeah, I guess you could go through the drive-thru too, but we decided we're going to walk in. So we walk in. There's literally 3 people sitting in the dining room, and then there's nobody at the counter. But all of a sudden, somebody comes. There's like 2 doors on each end, and I walk in with the kids, and then all of a sudden, I see 2 people walking in from the other direction. Nah, I'm going to say this again because I've said it before. I am not prejudiced against fat people. I'm just using the explanation to tell you what happened. 2 very large human beings walked in the door, a husband and a wife. They were holding hands. And Hoadley, they were big, like the kind you see on My 600-Pound Life. Big people.
Yeah.
And you've got that race going on in your mind, right? Can I get to the front counter first? Because, I got the kids. They could have been tiny people, and I would have said the same thing to myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm always having a race with somebody, right? And I'm like, can I get to the front counter first? But, of course, I have 2 kids. So no matter.
Yanking Matthias's hand quick.
I'm dragging him along.
Come on.
Quick! We can't wait 1 more second for our chili dog. I can't wait. Yes, it's like when I go to Disney World. Even though there are going to be 600 people that are clearly going to be in front of me in any line that I'll be a mile away from a ride, and in my head, the person in front of me is clearly heading to the same ride, and I got to get in front of them somehow.
Okay.
I'm like,
Like a game.
yeah, it's
like
a game.
Pac-Man.
Yeah, it's like it's a game, but it gets very serious in my head. I'm just way too serious about that stuff. So I have this game going on in my head, but with 2 kids, I can't drag Matthias fast enough because now Astrid is like, honey, hold on 1 second. Let's take the kids' coats off And then we'll make sure their shoes are tied. And then I'll make sure I got their water out of the bottle. And then I'll go pick this table. I'll get the ketchup.
Checklist.
You get the fries. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, what do you want? What do you want?
We got to get there.
Quick. I'm like turning my head left and right. I'm like, quick, what do you want? I don't care. I'll get you something. There's only 2 things.
I'll take a slow dog.
You get a slog dog. That's what you like. I'll buy everything. I don't care. I just want to get there first. Everything. I just wanted to scream.
One of everything.
I'll take everything. Don't let them order first. We came in first. But inevitably, I did not get there first. These 2 people walked right up. And, at some point, we walked at the same time we got there.
Yeah.
And then, I got to set an example for the kids. So I'm like, oh, no, after you. Fucking assholes. Then I'm just like mumbling under my breath.
They were probably thinking the same thing. We better get out there for all those kids.
Of course.
And the whole family goes.
Well, no, I don't think they were, because here's what happened. There is one guy, looks like the manager at the front. Usually at varsity, there's like 10 people taking your order, right? But because there's nobody in there, there's only one manager, and then there's 100 people back in the kitchen, but there's one manager. And he takes their order, and I can hear the order. And she goes like this. Ready? He goes, what do you have? What do you have? Right? And she goes, oh, okay, hold on 1 second. Let me get the piece of paper out. And I'm like, no, not the piece of paper.
The piece of paper? What was the paper?
If you can't remember what you're going to order at the varsity, there's only 2 things. That means you're ordering for everybody.
Yeah.
Or yourself. One of the
later.
2. Hoadley, I shit you not. We'll take 20 cheeseburgers. We'll take 10 slaw dogs. We'll take 10 chili dogs. We'll take 10 chili and cheese dogs. We'll take 33 fries. We'll take 2 mocha shakes. Give me an extra 2 cheeseburgers. We forgot about Ben and Larry.
Oh,
Let's better get Ben and Larry.
Too. Don't they have those like?
Oh, she ordered pies. Yep. She's like, and let's get 12 pies, and then we'll get 17 Coca-Colas. And I'm like, oh. So now Astrid's across the dining room looking at me, and I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm like, oh, man. But that's okay, because it's a big order, and what's going to happen is the guy's going to call back the order. He's going to put some trays down, and he's going to step aside, and I'm going to order, and then, eventually I'll get my food. And maybe even if the manager is smart, he'll take the couple of burgers that are up front, he'll give them to me, and then, he can wait on that order. Clearly, they can't expect they're going to get their order first, right? I mean, they just ordered $150 worth of shit from a place where it costs 60 cents for a fucking burger, right?
Yes.
No.
No.
No. The manager, God bless his heart, waits for the entire order to be made, then he packages it separately.
Before he even took your order?
Before he even looked at me. 15 fucking minutes this guy was sitting there packaging burgers in
Are you
wax
standing
paper.
up at the front?
I was standing, they have in Disney World they have the rails.
Yes.
They have a rail at the varsity, I guess, to keep some kind of order when,
right,
when
you're
at
slammed.
So I was standing at the opening, I'm next kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the more minutes that went by, the closer I got to the front desk, at some point I just was leaning up at the front desk. And every time the manager swung his head, I was, I don't want to be rude, but I was I'd put my hand up in the, I could hear my kids screaming in the background. And Astrid's like, what's going on? And I just wanted to point to the 2 incredibly large people next to me and be like, they did it. I don't know. He packaged 50 burgers and dogs, got 17 Coca-Colas, 2 shakes, and 70 pies before he even took my order.
Yeah,
and
he
I
was on a mission.
So pissed. I was like, this sucks. You have to be able to do this more efficiently. There has to be a way to do this more efficiently.
Yeah, just bring another person out to the register and take your order.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you have to have some kind of special training or something. To be at the front.
Hit the cash register.
To hit the cash register. Yeah, I mean, I did work at McDonald's, and I knew that being on the cash register was a privilege that was only given to the people who could actually read and write. And that wasn't a joke.
Sense.
Yeah. And there's just some people who were better for the grill. They were just suited for the grill. I remember when I worked at McDonald's, there was a guy named Larry. He worked in the grill. He was the coolest grill guy that ever was, right?
Larry.
He could make a burger. He would fix it for you right. Don't worry about if you screwed it up. He'll get it for you. He's just one of those guys. Had a good attitude.
Nice.
Working
I love
hard.
those kitchen guys.
Yeah, those kitchen guys, they work hard, right?
They do.
And I'm sure that Larry had Daddy's little helper in the background. But at that time, I was naive enough to believe that Larry was a cool guy.
Yeah.
That was really quick at his job and also really quick at talking and also lost a bunch of teeth at some point because he did not have many teeth.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but he was And he wasn't that old. I think he was probably in his 30s, but man, could he go. He ended up being the eventual guy that I bought my first bag of marijuana from, but he would go. I mean, he would just do it. And then if you screwed something up, you always felt bad because in the McDonald's it was the 90s. So the McDonald's was constantly busy because everyone went to McDonald's in the 90s. And it was like a busy Saturday afternoon. If someone wanted no onions and you put no pickles, right? Then you felt bad because that's a special order.
That is.
And back then, you didn't get your shit the way you wanted it. You had to do a special order. And you always felt bad about that. But Larry just was, if Larry was on the grill, you never worried about it. But he was the captain. He was in charge. He'd get it done, right?
Yes.
Don't worry. Coming
right up,
one
Bryan.
fart patty coming up with no onions. Don't you worry about it, buddy. I got you covered. Dink, dink. He'd wink at me. Dink, dink. We'll eat that one later. Dink, dink. And I'd be like, yeah, buddy. And he'd smile at me with that one tooth.
It would shine.
Yeah. And, it just shined through the hallways of the McDonald's. And I was like, yeah. And then there was another guy named Charles. If Charles was there, you were going to get yelled at.
Oh, no.
And I spent some time with Charlie, and Charlie had been to Nam or something. He was only 18 years old, but he had been to Nam because he had a lot of guns and a don't tread on me flag, and he was very angry. And if you fuck something up, you were going to hear about it for the entire day. God damn it. It wasn't for green and that sesame seedless bun Big Mac. The whole day would have been perfect. I was batting 1,000 until Green came.
Damn it, Green.
With his extra cheese, double cheeseburger. And, that's just the way that it was. So I respected those guys very much. Like, to be on the grill was very cool. Like, it was a cool job. And eventually I did get on the grill. And I was more like a Charlie than I was a Larry. But, and I'm not sure everyone... I eventually got back to the cooking part, right? I started sweeping, mopping, cleaning the bathrooms, picking up trays and cleaning ashtrays. Then I moved to being like a backer. Like, people would get, busy and they would take an order and then I would put it together and stuff it. Then I got to the drive-thru. I was really good at that. Yeah, I was quick on the drive-thru. I was good at the drive-thru, right? And then I eventually opened the stores with the managers. So in the morning I'd be there at like 3:30, making coffee and, getting your fucking, blueberry jam out of the basement and all this other shit, right? Fucking blueberry packets. I hate when you ask for a blueberry packet. Yeah, because then eventually they said, hey, Green, why don't you take a shot at the grill? And I was like, I got called up to the big leagues.
That's right.
Got called up to the big leagues. Look at me.
Put me in, coach.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
And then I'll never forget, Larry was my first teacher, right? And he's like, here you go. You take 72 frozen patties and you put them all down at the same time, right? And then you put the steam press on and then you lift it up and then you flip them once, right? But you got to flip them quick, like this, 3 at a time.
Boom, 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 boom.
Right, he'd do that. Well, here's, I would flip them like half at a time. They would never be cooked. You should have
been working more in small batches.
Yeah, I think that's what they figured out too. Then what they did is they put me on the fry station, which was chicken and fish fillet, right? So
fries. I do have to say, McDonald's fries are so freaking good.
Now the managers in the front of the house were sometimes responsible for the fries, right? So every time you would be low on a fry, you would throw some in the basket, right? And then if something was beeping, everybody had to pay attention to the beeping. That beeping stayed in my head for years.
I'm sure.
For
I can
years.
Imagine that
beep,
was,
beep, 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 beep. All that dinging. Change the fries!
The fries are ready.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to burn a basket of fries. That's food cost. It's all that shit just built in your head. So eventually I became like the go-to fry cook.
Okay. I like that.
Chicken fillets and fish fillets. And I think they felt like that was an easy job for me because back in those days, they didn't sell too many McChickens or fish fillets. Always sold a lot of on certain days.
Yeah.
But even that I couldn't get right because I kept forgetting which one had cheese and which one didn't have cheese. And then eventually I learned that the bacon station was like right next to the fry station and they had pickles for the McChickens. And I always like to put the pickles and the bacon together as a little snack. And so what I ended up doing was eating a lot of pickles and bacon. And they'd be like, where's that McChicken no mayo? And I'd be like, did you say fish fillet no mayo? They'd say, it says chicken no mayo. And I'm like, not what it says on my slip. Oops. I always fucked shit up. And so eventually I just got a bad name on the grill, and Larry had to come and have a conversation with me one day. I'll never forget it. Larry said, And this was, we were out back smoking
Not everyone's
a cigarette.
cut out for the grill.
Actually, we would smoke cigarettes. There was a basement where they, like a storage basement.
right.
And then they had a
Yeah.
small office where the owner would come in and do the books. But then they had a break room.
Yeah.
And so the break room had 4 McDonald's tables, right? With bench seats. So 4 McDonald's tables with bench seats. They had ashtrays, a small TV, and then at that time a CD player, so that we could play the newest, latest, and greatest Soundgarden and Pearl Jam, right?
Right, you're jamming out in the
Oh
basement.
yeah, man, like just grunge music 24 hours a day. But so one day, I will never forget, we took a break. Like you get 2 15-minute breaks and then a half-hour break on a shift. And so the manager said, "Hey Brian, why don't you take a break?" I was on the grills, the chicken and fish grill.
Okay.
And then the manager said, "Larry, you should take a break too."
Just
It was
go with
smoke break.
Bryan.
Yeah. And we all smoked. And so we went downstairs
Yeah.
and I lit up my Camel Wide and I was like, "What's up, Larry? I'm killing it on a grill today." And he's like, "Well, about that. You are killing it. You're literally killing the food. You may be killing people in addition to that." So, man, I love you, Bri. I love you, and you are really good at that drive-through. Like, you kill on the drive-through. You're like, you take that money so fast and you're so friendly with people. You're a really nice guy up front. And I think that what we're missing up front is, that kind of face. I think we need leadership up front. Me and the manager were talking about this, and I was like, yeah, you guys talked about this? And she's like, yeah, me and I think her name was Edie or something. Me and Edie talked about this early in the morning. We opened and we said, "Oh, Brian's on fry today."
Shit.
Like
We gotta do something
like a
about
busy
this.
Saturday afternoon. And he says, "We talked about this, and you know what Edie said to me? Oh, I guess not. What did she say to you?" She said, "We're really going to miss that smiling face up front today when Brian's not there."
Yeah.
So you know what? Why don't you do me a favor, bud? Why don't you hand me that apron? Why don't you go get a clean shirt? And why don't you go up there and work on the drive-through? And I was like, "You're not going to need me on." No, man, we got it.
We got it covered.
We got it. Yeah, we need you in we need you in the drive-through a lot more than we need you killing my food costs.
Right.
And Hoadley, I
We
swear to
can't
God.
afford you on the grill anymore. Let's
That's
just
right.
Move back into.
So I get up to I don't think I really understood what was going on. I think
You were flattered, probably. They were talking about me. I was the topic of conversation. They recognized
right.
my talents.
That's right. I wanted them to like me.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to feel like my talent at the grill station was recognized. And eventually I was going to make it back up to that beef station.
Yeah,
I was going to get there. I was going to be flipping those burgers 3 at a time, just like Larry and his 2 teeth. If I could just, get a little more nimble,
Yeah.
if I just understood it more, right? If I could stop eating
just
bacon
did
and
some
pickles.
math.
If I could stop taking no-dos all night long and eating bacons and pickles and try to figure out who's going to give me some weed later on, then I could be a real star back here on the grill. This could be my life. I could be Larry, right?
Yeah.
Now, I didn't aspire to much, but, I was in 33 Willie. So I swear, when I got up to the drive-through station, it took 3 people to work the front drive-through where you on a busy day where you gave the stuff. And they just recently had gotten the second window. That was just a new thing back in the 90s. It didn't happen very
Pay
often.
at the first one and get your food at the
That's
second.
right.
Yeah.
For so long, it was always you pay and
One
get your food at the
window.
same time. But this is one of the first McDonald's that I knew of to have a double window. And I was good at both. I was good at taking the money and I was good at giving the food, right?
Yeah.
And so I go up and I'm like, "Hey, Edie, Larry told me." And she's like, "Great." She didn't even, there was no explanation. Great. Let's get you up
Perfect.
there. Right. Do me a
Thank
favor.
God Larry had that conversation.
And I'm like, so it was position 1, 2, 3, and then window 1, 1. Like it was position 1. Sometimes you'd have 2 people in the front window if it was really busy, one person taking orders and one person taking money. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, "Let's get you at 2, 4. And I'm like, "What is 2, 4? I thought we only had 2, 3. And she's like, "Oh, it's great. It's a new position we have."
It's out back.
Yeah, it's a new position we have.
The dumpster
Yeah.
needs attention.
Go check the condiments and see if they need more. And if they do, run downstairs and get them. And I'm like, "Go see if they need the condiments." I thought you wanted my smiling face. And she's like, "Well, listen, when whatever, 1, 1 leaves, you can take over." But that was during the slow time. And, you weren't a champ during the slow time. I really thought this was a competition. I really felt like I was getting a sense for where I belonged in life.
Yeah.
And I was learning it at McDonald's. I was learning how the hierarchy, life skills, the hierarchy of a job goes.
Yeah.
Just by being at this McDonald's and being in position, brand new minted position 2, 4.
That's right. The old 2-4.
With the old 2, 4.
2-4.
Hey, Brian, why don't you take those coffee grinds out back, sift through them, see if we got any extras we could throw in there. Do us a favor. Empty all the trash.
Yeah.
That's where my smiling face belongs.
We need you out there.
Is with the coffee grinds. As a matter of fact, Bryan, once you take position 2-5, that's where you go home and come back on your next shift.
And you didn't know it.
Oh man, I was so bummed out. I just thought, man, I was going to be the next grill star. I was sure of it. It never happened. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's why they don't bring the grill guys up for varsity. 7 minutes later.
That's a great story. I really do enjoy your McDonald's stories.
Thank you. My McDonald's stories. I enjoy the McDonald's stories that I have in my head because I know that was a special time in my life. And it taught me a lot about, the real world.
Getting up early.
Yeah, and I had a lot of mentors there, including
Larry.
Getting up early, staying up way too late, one of the two. And Larry, the toothless wonder. Larry, I wonder where you are. And I wonder where I can see your headstone. That's what I wonder. He might still be working at that particular McDonald's.
That's what I was going to think.
I should take a visit there with my video camera and see if I can actually find Larry. Yeah. Because I do know that years after I quit that McDonald's, I'm talking like 10 years after I quit that McDonald's, I went in there one time. I've been in there one time since. And him and the old drive-thru manager were still working at this particular McDonald's.
They found their niche.
They found their niche. Hey. Not everybody needs a CEO.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You can be you can be a hero on the grill at McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
Because to me, he was a hero on the grill at McDonald's. That time in my life, he was the hero. And he's probably fed countless millions of human beings their breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right?
That's amazing to think about.
I think
check it out.
Not everybody needs to be a podcaster.
Right. You should do that for go see.
To which some of our listeners are probably saying, you included. Hey everybody, it's the commercial break inside of the commercial break. Go to tcbpodcast.com if you'd like to find out more about Krissy and I. You can read all the show notes, get our sponsors, special URLs and codes. You can listen to all the audio, you can watch all the video, all from our website. And if you'd like to, you can drop us a line at 661-237-8296. That's 661-BEST2-YO. At The Commercial Break on Instagram, youtube.com/The Commercial Break is the home of our brand new series, TCB in the Studio. Content you cannot get through the audio version. So please go ahead, jump over there and subscribe. It'd be a great Christmas present to yourself. Get your free TCB Collectibles sticker. Series number 2 is out right now by going to the website and click on I Want My Free Sticker. We'll tell you how to get it. You tell us where to send it, and we'll have it home for the holidays, just in time. We want to thank you for being a listener of The Commercial Break, and we know commercials aren't your favorite thing in the world, but our sponsors are good enough to give you free shit and discounts just by listening to the commercials. So please use the specialized URLs and codes to get your free shit, and then the sponsors keep on coming back, and then we get to do more content, and you get to keep on listening. It's a big lovey-dovey relationship. Trust me. Happy holidays to you and yours, and now a word from our sponsors. Hey TCB family, this episode is sponsored in part by Mack Weldon. The holiday season is here, and with it comes the yearly question of, what do I wear to the non-ugly sweater parties? And how do I maximize my holiday without spending all my time shopping online or in the mall? Fear not, weary holiday wanderer, Mack Weldon has your answer. Whether it's an office party, a party with family and friends, or just a holiday party of me, my couch, and the game, Mack Weldon has all the essentials to keep me stylish and comfortable throughout the holiday season. Their innovative daily wear system has taken the hard work out of outfit planning with pieces designed to work together for any occasion, saving you time and sparing you any extra holiday stress. Mack Weldon clothing, been wearing it for a long time. It is so comfortable and it's stylish. It fits my body well, and I don't have to worry about mixing and matching pieces because Mack Weldon does it for you. Go to their website, mackweldon.com/TCB, and enter the code TCB for 20% off your first order from Mack Weldon. That's mackweldon.com/TCB for 20% off when you enter the code TCB. I got 2 long sleeve, incredibly comfortable shirts. I got a vest and some underwear from Mack Weldon just a couple of weeks ago, and I've already worn it at least 20 times. You can see it on our YouTube channel, actually. It's the long sleeve blue shirt made out of incredibly comfortable cotton. I'm telling you guys, Mack Weldon is the place to go for some easy online shopping of incredibly comfortable affordable clothing. MacWeldon.com/TCB. Use the code TCB for 20% off. They're good enough to give those discounts to our listeners, so make sure you use those. Mack Weldon, making holiday shopping just a bit easier for the man in your life. Of course, this episode is sponsored in part by our great friends at Squatty Potty. What is a Squatty Potty, you ask? Well, I have the answer because I've had one for years, and so have all of my family members. A Squatty Potty is a piece of plastic or metal that sits under your feet and around your toilet for when you are going poop. That's right, when you do number 2, the Squatty Potty pushes your knees up towards your chest and allows you to be in a natural squatting position while you do your business. Why is this important? Because that's the way the universe made our bodies, to squat as we shit. And SquattyPotty.com is fixing the problem with a cheap, what I call pooping utensil that goes in your bathroom. It comes in stylish colors and shapes and sizes. You can pick whichever one you want, and for the price of a couple of cups of coffee, you can poop easier for the rest of your life. It'll take you a few times to get used to, but Squatty Potty is willing to put their money where their mouth is. A 60-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee if for any reason you do not like your Squatty Potty. The good people at Squatty Potty are giving our listeners 20% off anything you buy simply by going to squattypotty.com/TCB. SQUATTYPOTTY.com/TCB for 20% off. Thank you, Squatty Potty, for improving my poop, and thank you, Squatty Potty, for being a sponsor of the Commercial Break.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSUFCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
I was strolling on the internet.
As you do.
I do. A couple months back, I was strolling on the internet, and I think I asked you a question at one point, and I never really finished the statement.
Yeah, you just kind of randomly asked it to me one day. I was
Let
like,
me
where
repeat
did
the
that
question.
come from?
Let me repeat the question. Would you ever make out with a cousin?
And to which I answered no.
No. Not a second cousin, third cousin?
I don't think so. No.
I have some hot cousins. I won't name them by name, but I had some cousins, at least when I was a kid, that I thought were very attractive.
Right.
A kid, I'll say a teenager, I thought were very attractive.
You can recognize the good lookingness of the cousins, but to me, it's off limits.
Yeah.
It's not even an option.
I always felt like it was off limits, but I always wondered what it would be like if it wasn't off limits, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And so I'm kind of half kidding. So any of my cousins that listen to this don't think I was in the shower, cold shower, thinking about you. Maybe I was, I'm not sure. But I've always thought it was very taboo, at least in my circle of people.
Yeah, most.
No, but that's not true. Because over 56% of the world's population believe it's okay to get married to a first cousin. And over 36% of the world's married population in Asia and South Asia, Asia as a whole,
as a continent,
are married to a cousin. As a continent as a whole. I guess that'd be the same thing, wouldn't it? Yeah. I'm on a roll today. Welcome to the Commercial Break. Your geography lesson is, how many continents are there?
There's 7.
Okay, tell me.
North America, South America, Asia, as you just mentioned.
Yes.
Australia.
Yes.
Antarctica.
Yes.
Europe. And there's one more.
Antarctica and the North Pole.
I don't think this.
I don't think it's a continent. I think that's ice.
Anyways,
Antarctica and Antarctica. That's what it is. Australia, Asia, North, Europe. South America, Europe.
Yep.
And then what's the other one? I can't remember. I don't know.
I don't know. Cut this part out.
Yeah, India, South Africa. Yeah, we said
Africa.
that one.
That's
Africa.
it. It's just
That's right.
Africa.
Africa.
Yes,
yeah, I said
God.
South Africa. Jesus Christ.
We're
I'm going to cut this out of the show
Yeah,
because
cut this out. It's
for
embarrassing.
sure.
Okay, back to Asia.
So
they're married to their cousins.
36% of people in Asia.
Yes, some traditions
and
allow
Africa.
it, and I know that there used to be the monarchy
Of course.
that would marry and intermarry, but
They would intermarry.
It causes birth defects.
It doesn't, actually. Here's the thing. That a long-term studies from scientists, and I read about this. Now, I'm not advocating for this. I want you to know. It'll sound like I am, but I'm not really. It doesn't cause long-term birth defects. What causes birth defects in a long-term situation where you're marrying into your bloodline is when you marry too close into your bloodline.
Right.
Typically, your siblings by both parents, right? Okay. So let's just
Not first cousins.
Not first cousins, not second cousins, and certainly not third cousins. Because
Well,
at
yeah,
some
as
point
you
we're
keep
all
going
cousins.
down. Yeah, as you keep going down.
Yeah, I
but
think it's
would
like-
think first cousins.
No, it's not true.
Okay.
At least that's what I read, and I did some research on this, right? Because I was like, that's really weird that you would marry your
Yeah.
first cousin, that you would want to make out with your first cousin.
Yeah.
Now, I have heard, in my own experience as a human being, I have heard a number of people, I'll say 3 people that I can think of, who have said they have had relations with their first cousin.
Oh, okay.
Which to me, in my growing up, in my life, that was a big no-no.
Of course, me too.
I even one time, when I was like 8 years old, had what I call a kissing cousin.
Okay.
You know those people where you call them cousins, but they're really not cousins?
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying? Aunt Judy and Uncle Bob. But
Aunt Krissy.
yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're really not an aunt.
Right.
And therefore, your children, Jeff's children, are not my children's cousins. But we might say that at some point, right? Oh, there's cousin Olivia or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, sure.
So, but we didn't really have that concept. And so me and this young lady, we ended up like making out
Kissing?
like 8-year-olds would, right?
Yes.
Yeah, kissing on the lips or on the cheek or
Okay.
whatever. And we got in trouble because you were not supposed to make out or kiss your own cousin.
Well, and I think the fact that you were 8 might have been concerning too.
I was really, honestly, I was like, fuck you guys. I want to keep on doing it. I remember feeling to this day that feeling.
Little
tingly. And I remember feeling a sense of real adventurism about it. Like, wow, they tell me no, that means I should.
Yes.
This is not as unusual as we think. And 36 states allow this in some way, shape, or form.
Let me guess, they're mostly in the South.
Mostly in the South, Oklahoma.
whole
Utah is one of the ones that does not allow marrying of cousins.
Does not.
Unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, because it's because you can just marry multiple people.
Yeah, you can marry multiple people
Yes.
just as long as they're not related to
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
That makes fucking sense. Hold on one second while I think about that. So 36 states allow some form or fashion of
Cousin marrying.
bloodline marrying, right? Now, I don't think it's legal in any state to get married to your sister or your brother or whatever.
No.
But very rarely do you find people that are proud of this.
Yes.
Proud of this fact, right?
I can
Even if
imagine.
you married your cousin, your family would know, but you might want to keep it secret outside of your own family.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how my family would react if I decided I was in love with one of my cousins and we took them and like we came to the family.
Right.
Yeah. Now I don't talk to my. A lot
I
of my
think you
cousins
know
anymore.
everyone
Yeah.
here.
I think you're familiar with.
This
I
is
think you're familiar
Judy.
with my mom and dad.
I think you know
Dad.
them.
This is cousin Stacy.
I think you know each other.
It's cousin Stacy, and we've been having a lot of sex lately. It's an update on us. How are you guys doing? I don't know if you got our Christmas card in the mail. That's a way to announce it.
Happy holidays
Yeah.
from the Greens.
Happy holidays from the Greens.
Yeah.
Is that Bryan and Stacy? What a cute cousin photograph.
They're
And
really
then they
close.
open it up and we're like making out. They're like, oh. So that's how it is in this family.
That is.
So I found recently, a month or two ago, that there is a now becoming very famous couple that are first cousins, have known each other all their lives, and are madly in love with each other and cannot stop telling the world about it.
Okay.
They recently were indicted because she got pregnant in Utah. And Utah indicted them.
Why were they picking one of the one states that doesn't allow it?
That's where their family lived, I guess. I don't know. It's just like those damn Seven Little Sisters or Seeking Sister Wives or Seven Little Johnstons, which is back on, by the way, a wonderful show. Go check it out. I love my Johnstons.
You do.
I love my Johnstons. Please come on the show. Any of you. I'll take any of you.
Yes. The Sister Wives.
Sister Wives. Yeah, Sister Wives. No, but not the Sister Wives like Seeking Sister Wives. The actual... What's that one?
Where they're like interviewing women and
no. This one's the one with like Cody and he's married to 7 women. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
What's that show?
Is
that called Sister
name.
Wives? I think, isn't it? Not Seeking Sister Wives. I think it's actually just okay. Whatever it is. One of those girls just divorced him. One of those ladies just divorced him, one of his first one, because she said that it just wasn't all it was cracked up to be. Go fucking figure. And that it didn't feel like a real marriage. Go fucking figure.
Right.
Because Cody just wants to get his dick wet with a new woman every night.
Yeah,
and he wants to ignore all of the other stuff that goes around. Mm-hmm. You can't be a real father to 29 children in 5 separate houses.
It's just too
doesn't
hard.
exist like that. I'm not saying Cody's a bad guy at heart. I think he might try and be a nice guy, but he's a real dumb fucking dumb when it comes to marrying people. How much heartache and headache must that be?
I know.
Couldn't you see this one coming down the line, Cody? But anyway, those dumbasses couldn't get out of the state of Utah either because they felt like it was the place where they needed to live, right? Until the actual law chased them out of there. They threatened to put them in jail if they didn't leave the state or uncouple.
Yeah.
And so they went to Colorado, where I guess Colorado...
They're okay with it.
Let me introduce you to the couple that I'm talking about here. Now, listen to this guy's voice. I have a question that is unrelated to the marriage of the cousins. I want you to listen to this guy's voice.
Okay.
How you guys came to fall in love?
They're doing an interview, by the way, I think for either People or one of those magazines, ABC People, something like that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm using this audio. I will credit it. I just wanted to let you know that I'm using the audio of someone that I don't know. But I will give them credit at some point.
Oh, goodness. I met Angie as a small child when I was...
How did you guys meet? We're cousins. How did we meet?
There was this family event.
I met Angie when I was 6 months old. It was a family event, and I remember thinking to myself the first minute, I hope my dad changes my diaper. And then I thought, wow, she's hot. Where's that tit that keeps feeding me? Oh, she's cute. This guy sounds like a radio personality to me. I think he is. I think he has a radio voice.
Okay, yeah,
just like me.
7 or 8 years old when I went to visit her parents in Virginia, and we stayed for a few days, and I immediately clicked with Angie. Hung out with her the entire time. Played games, made little rings together.
Gave each other hand shandies, dry humps.
We were just hanging out.
Yeah, how do you... This is creepy. Mm-hmm. Is this already creepy that you guys are falling in love with each other at a young age like that? You're just kids. You're just having fun together. Doesn't this guy already sound like a radio voice to you?
He does.
I think he's on the radio. I think that's why the story is interesting to other media outlets. Is because
he's in the media?
Yeah, I couldn't find him, but I think he's on like one of these rinky-dink stations somewhere out there in Utah.
Okay, in Utah.
We're inseparable to the point where I even told her mother, stopped her in the hallway and said, I'm going to marry Angie. And she said, no, you can't.
She said, no, I don't think so. That's illegal.
Oh, you're sweet, but no.
That's illegal in 26 states.
But you could be friends. And, well... I, of course, had the last laugh, but...
No, actually,
I showed her.
Yeah, I showed her. Look at me now.
I pissed her off. Bad.
We don't talk to any of our family anymore.
See?
Last laugh.
I would say that it started very young. I've always felt a very special connection with Angie, and no one has ever made me feel the way that she does, or ever could. So.
We've always loved each other.
And was it the same for you, Angie? You knew from when you were young?
I didn't know that I was going to end up marrying Michael, but I knew I liked him. I knew that there was something about him that was easy to get along with and felt familiar. And
yeah, he's your fucking cousin. Of course it feels familiar.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Jones, you got to be a fucking real nudnik not to figure this one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt familiar. I feel a familiarity with my cousins, too. We're all playing around with each other. We share aunts and uncles together. I mean, it's like...
Just felt comfortable.
I just felt comfortable. Just felt like family. You know what I mean? Just felt like she was a member of my family right off the bat, even when I was 3. And mind you, they're talking about when they're First of all, the reporter framed this question real dumb, like a real dum-dum. When did you guys first meet? When did you first meet your cousins? Don't cousins usually meet pretty early on?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, unless you have a real disconnected family.
Yeah.
Felt safe.
That's a start. That's a good start.
That is a very good start. And like you said, you had the last laugh. You guys are now married.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We all think that's real creepy.
Blushing bride.
Yeah. Listen to that fucking reporter. What a congratulations. We've been making fun of you all day long. Yeah, I think you're creepy. I hate even being in the room with you.
And you've been campaigning for a while now to get married in Utah, correct?
That's correct.
Yes. It hasn't turned out as we had hoped, but we did meet with the senator, and he made a few suggestions.
Divorce.
Yeah,
we did meet with the senator, and he made a few suggestions. He said when he married his cousin...
This is the steps he did.
Yeah. Michael, why don't you just have sex with a prostitute? It's so much easier.
Whether or not that's going to happen or not, who knows? It'd be nice if it does. But we've done some things in that direction to try to push the law in our favor.
And so why is it so important to you guys to be married in Utah? I know people might say to you, like, oh, just move, just leave the state.
Yeah.
Why Utah?
Yeah.
Well, it's not so easy to move, is it? You know, it's easy from the outside in. Go, why don't you just move? Just pack up all your belongings and get a bunch of boxes from Walmart and then pack everything up in it.
Is that the way people sound?
I think he's making fun directly of the reporter.
Yeah.
What a chauvinist pig. This guy, by the way, he has a shit-eating grin on his face, and he's the kind of guy that looks directly at his wife while she's talking, like stares her down, like she's saying something, and he's like...
Yeah, he even said, he goes, that's a good start.
That's a good start. That's a good start.
That's a good
start. Call me cousin. Call me brother. Let's take it one step further. Call me brother. Call me brother.
And hours and hours and hours. It's not that easy. And I have a job there. She has we both have family ties there.
You both have family ties there?
She has, we have.
Yeah, we have. Actually, her family ties are my family ties. I don't know if you picked up on that, but he's pretending like this is like this is a real marriage. I mean, it's a real marriage. It just happens to be to your cousin, which is really strange.
Yes.
The father of her children from her previous marriage lived there, and so to just uproot and like the Beverly Hillbillies or something is not as easy as it sounds.
So she had kids before and then got divorced and then was like, I mean, there's really just no good men out there.
Yeah.
Danny. Okay, cuz. What up? Remember me?
I got divorced Thanksgiving, and on Christmas I was like, well, Danny's got a dick. Danny's got a dick. Might as well jump on that one.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Familiar.
Not there's anything wrong with the Beverly Hillbillies. But.
Well, exactly why were you covering your tracks on that one?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's like a woke attitude about the Beverly Hillbillies? Who's upset about the Beverly Hillbillies? Am I missing something?
Yeah,
okay.
It seemed like
I think I have my finger on the pulse, and I don't know. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with rednecks striking oil and moving to Hollywood.
Angie, I was watching one of your YouTube videos that you shared recently saying, eventually one day you might like to move out of state.
Absolutely.
Any idea of where you'd want to go?
We both like California. Michael spent a lot of time in Texas, and I wouldn't mind trying Texas out.
That's not a bad place for the two of you to be, actually.
Yeah.
I think there's more than a few cousin marriages in Texas. Just like there is here in Georgia, by the way.
Yeah.
Not making fun, not singling you out, Texas. Love you, Texas. Houston, Austin, Dallas, you're my people.
Yes.
But let's be honest. You get outside in the outskirts.
There's some outlying areas.
And I can understand if you live
in Georgia.
If you live in if you live in a small township outside of Lubbock, Texas, maybe your cousin is the only thing you can marry.
Yeah, that's true.
And in that case, well, what are you going to do? If I only had cousins around me my entire life, maybe I also would have married one of my cousins. Maybe. You never know. Maybe it's situational in some sense.
Right now, I've just been in Utah for half my life now, and that's longer than I've lived in any other place, and I'm dying to get out. But because of my children and their dad and visitation and all that, we have to stay in Utah for the time being.
Correct.
How did that conversation go with the ex-husband? Hey, so remember Danny from those reunions that we used to all go to, those Christmas dinners? I'm marrying him.
He was actually giving me hand jobs
I'm with
in the
him
bathroom.
now.
Yeah. Oh, really? Is it the same Danny that you went to the family?
Yes, my cousin.
Is that the same Danny you went to the wedding with by yourself? Is that the same Danny you would go to ski trips with the kids? Yes, it was. I mean, it's just weird that pops up out of nowhere like that.
Totally.
Huh. You just show up at a reunion one time and you're like, well, Danny's hot. I guess I'll fuck him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Say, like they're kind of repulsed by this. Do you understand that, or what is your response to them?
I can understand. A lot of things.
I can understand a lot of things.
Well, at
Jim.
least he can comprehend.
He sounds like a total radio guy, like one of those old school radio.
Oh yeah. Hey, come on.
Yeah.
Down.
Hey,
Big Ed's.
We really come down to Big Ed's Crowd Show this Saturday from 2 to 4. We got clowns and music and more clowns. We're giving away a free popcorn machine. My name is Danny. This is my wife, my cousin.
Yes.
This is my wife and my cousin Judy. Nice to meet you. Oh. That was Air Supply. And now, Take a Little Piece of My Heart is Take a Little Piece of My Heart. My cousin took a little piece of my heart last Saturday. 52 degrees and sunny on WUTH, Utah's finest soft rock.
UTI.
UTI.
WUTI.
I'm Danny, and welcome back to WUTI, the itchiest radio station around. We'll have you burning for more. You know what? The other day I woke up and I looked over and I said, I'm the luckiest cousin in the world.
That's right.
That's right. Now, back to the music. Here's Aha with Take On Me.
Take on me.
Take me on.
Can understand why they would do that, depending on their upbringing, depending on what they were taught culturally, depending on what they were taught by their family, depending on a lot of different factors. I could see why someone would be repulsed.
The music.
What is this softcore porn music? Unbutton her jeans.
That music's
Snap off her bra. This is softcore porn
It
at
really
the best.
is weird.
Yeah, come on, people. You couldn't get better music than that? I can get better music than that. I'm a podcaster. I know better than that.
By any behavior. If I were just to put myself in their shoes for 2 seconds, I can go, okay, I can see why they would be repulsed. But then again, you haven't walked a mile in my shoes. So.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Angie?
She's like, I think this is a very softball interview. I think it's likely that a PR agent set this up just to give them so that they could, get some good press. By the way, they have recently been on a Discovery Network show called Only Human, and they did an expose on this. And so I'll see if I can get a hold of this, and it's probably more interesting than this lady softball questioning them, where he has an opportunity to spin things the way that he wants to. Another thing that bothers me, and I'll say this, and we'll get into this in another episode about male chauvinism. But one of the things that bothers me is when a man feels the need to validate everything that his woman says, that his wife or his girlfriend or whatever says. So she'll say something and he'll go, that's right, honey, that's right.
That's right, you're doing good.
Yeah, you're doing good. Keep going. Keep going. I like the direction. Stop! Stop!
No.
Or you won't eat for a week. It's like, what are you doing?
I know, it's weird. Jeff
It's
does
so
not do
strange.
that.
I do not do that to Aster. No. I occasionally do it here to you, but that's just because I don't give you the encouragement you're looking for. It's a good laugh. I like that. Keep that going on. That's appropriate. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Doing good.
Okay, too much.
Doing good.
Too much. Slow down.
Okay.
Do you have the same kind of...
Yeah, I would say that, it depends, like Michael said, on your background and your upbringing and how close you are with your cousins growing up. For some, they grow up with their cousins their whole lives, and so cousins are more like siblings. And in that case, the incest taboo does develop naturally, intrinsically. But when you don't grow up seeing each other a lot and you reconnect as adults, then a romance is much more likely to occur.
And you are now on...
What? I'm not so sure that's correct.
Yeah, I mean, part for me, the attraction that I have, like the physical attraction that I have for someone also has to come mentally. And I think just in my mental mind, I would not be attracted to someone that I'm related to.
I think that even though I know there are cousins that I have that are attractive, I'm not attracted to them. They are beautiful women, but I don't even think about it because I'm like, whatever, they're my cousins, right? It's more of like a brotherly, sisterly type thing. I'm like, I don't have any sisters, but I can tell that my brothers are good-looking gentlemen. Yeah. But that doesn't mean I want to bone them. Right. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe one day I'll walk into Thanksgiving dinner and I'll be like, hey, Kev, you want to get married? What do you say we move on to Utah and go get married where it's completely illegal?
On WeTV's Extreme Love. That's right.
WeTV's Extreme Love, which I think is owned by Discovery.
That is true.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's right.
What made you guys...
That's true. That's right, honey. Good
Congratulations.
job. Good job remembering that, honey. Good job. We'll talk
very
about
bad.
that in the car. We got to have a conversation about that later. Sounds like a guy who needs to have control of everything. Oh, yeah.
You guys decide to go on a reality TV program?
They paid us.
Yeah.
That's a dumb question. That's a dumb question.
Well, I think they pitched the idea to us, and the way that they pitched it, it sounded very reasonable. It sounded fun. It sounded like a good opportunity to get ourselves out there and present a very hopefully tasteful story about cousins being married and show people that we're regular people just like everyone else.
I feel like massage porn should be to this music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's really weird.
I've seen a few, more than my fair share of massage porn videos, and I feel like this is perfect massage porn video material.
They've got like the beat, the drum beat in the background.
Yeah, it's the thrust. Oh, the towel fell off. Let me massage the inside of your labia.
And we've also brought in a lot of other political elements and stuff that kind of backs what we're doing, and so we're not as, freaky as people would think that we.
Oh wait, so you're bringing in political elements?
Political elements.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Because you talked to a senator?
Another thing that I did. Yeah, because you talked to a senator who gave you a few good ideas. Yeah. What good ideas did he give you? You didn't even specify. He said, move out of the state, dum-dum. It's not legal here. Yeah. You think I'm going to go to bat for your cousin marrying? You got to be kidding me.
Right.
I already either got a pat Sleepy Joe on the back or pretend January 6th didn't happen, and now you want me to go to bat for cousin marrying? Yeah. Are you a fucking moron?
Would be. So I think that it was a lot of fun, and when they pitched the idea, we kind of talked about it and said, yeah, this would be a good idea to get ourselves out there and our message.
So they're
across
not freaky.
I
mean, let's delve into that again just for a second here, because I don't necessarily think they're like kinky, freaky.
No, I don't think cousin love is kinky. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird in my opinion.
The number one type of porn that is viewed in the United States right now during the pandemic is stepdaughter porn.
Right.
So incest is a thing. It is a kink, right? People are interested in whether they're interested in themselves doing it or watching somebody else do it.
But I would be interested in the cousin porn statistics.
That just doesn't seem all that kinky to me. Like, okay, you fucked your cousin. I guess. All right. Yeah. Stepdaughter's like totally taboo. It's like you should not have sex with your stepdaughter.
Absolutely not.
For sure not. And I don't know if they take it a step further than that. I don't know if there's like, I don't even want to get into it, but I don't know if there's like, that's just a whole different animal. Yeah. No, never mind.
Change some minds.
For me, I think awareness is the first step in social change. And what I love about
social change, what are you trying to make it like? You want this to sweep the nation?
I can see her outside with like a protest sign.
Who are you, Martin Luther cousin? I mean, like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, things gotta change. Times are a changing.
Oh, hell no, cousin wants my blow. I mean, what do you? What do you want? What do you want to happen? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at the time. Listen, we'll get back to more. I promise you, it does not get more interesting from there. That's the first 5 minutes was the most interesting 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I wanted to say this to everybody out there. Love this song, man. So awesome. It's called The Weekend. It's by The Grooves, I think is the name. The Grooves. That is the actual name of the song. Yeah, like it. They have a whole bunch of songs that I'm interested in. This is just one of the ones I happen to license. So there you go. I wanted to say this. Go to youtube.com/thecommercialbreak for our new special segment called In the Studio. You can only watch it on YouTube. It does not air on the audio version. So go there. We've been talking about Astroworld. We're going to put out one shortly where we give you an explanation about Taylor Swift's decoupling from her Universal contract and why she's re-recording all of her shit. So it's just something where we talk about subjects that are a little bit more timely and not always crazy. You know, we talk about absurd shit in our family and our life stories here, but that's not all we're interested in talking about. So go watch In the Studio at youtube.com/thecommercialbreak. Subscribe to the channel if you would. That'd make us so happy. You can go to @thecommercialbreak on Instagram. We're giving away a Squatty Potty next week, and you'll learn more about that on Instagram @thecommercialbreak. I do want to remind you, Krissy and I really appreciate the fact that you're listening to our sponsors. We know there's commercials in the show, and they've been there for a while, but now there's like actual commercials in the show. That is in an effort to keep our show free and frequent to you, so that you don't have to pay some nominal fee on Patreon or anything like that. We'd rather it just go free to you. Let us get a couple sponsors to cover some of the costs. That's it. No big deal. A couple minutes of commercials. And I also wanted to say this. Go to tcbpodcast.com and use our sponsors' special URLs and codes. You get free shit. That's why they give it to you. It's great for everybody. Okay, now, what else can we do today?
I think that's it, Bryan.
I think she was a step behind her. She was like, I like the song.
I was dancing.
I feel like sometimes you're like, I've heard this so many times before. I'm just going to dance for a second.
I love it.
I'll clearly clue back in. Yeah. I love you.
I love you.
Until next time, best to you.
Best to you.
Best to you out there in the podcast audience. We always say at the end of the show, bye.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSUFCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/fan and use code FAN. That's code FAN at prizepicks.com/fan. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
The Commercial Break. New episodes on Tuesdays and now Fridays. New YouTube clips drop daily at youtube.com/thecommercialbreak. Visit tcbpodcast.com for access to our entire media library. Follow us at The Commercial Break on Instagram. Each episode is written and produced by Bryan Green, co-hosted by Krissy Hoadley, with additional content provided by Tina Cano.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSUFCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/fan and use code FAN. That's code FAN at prizepicks.com/fan.
Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Recently, our client John met his banker to discuss plans for a clean energy building. What he found was a shared passion for building something more. Momentum for change. First Horizon Bank. Let's find a way. Go to firsthorizon.com/John.